Gentlemen, let me ask you something straight. Have your erections become weaker, slower, or even gone missing lately? If so, don't be too quick to blame your age, because in my 35 years of treating men from all walks of life, I've seen a surprising pattern. It's not always age. Sometimes it's breakfast. Yes, you heard me right. The very first thing you put in your body each morning could be silently choking off blood flow to the very place you wish it weren't. No drama, no warning, just a quiet daily habit that's slowly robbing your strength. Most men over 60 don't even see it coming. They think it's low testosterone. They think it's just part of getting older. But what if I told you that it's often something simpler, like missing a key nutrient, skipping real food, or starting your day with sugar and caffeine instead of fuel? I'm Dr. Jonathan Prescott. I've helped thousands of older men reclaim what they thought was gone: stronger circulation, sharper energy, and yes, real intimacy, without pills, injections, or chasing gimmicks. And I want you to know something. Your body hasn't given up. It's just been waiting for the right signal. That signal starts with your fork. In this video, I'll walk you through 4 humble foods, real whole foods you can eat each morning that I've seen reignite circulation, rebuild confidence, and bring warmth and strength back to places you may have started to forget. I'll also show you one common mistake I see almost every man make, and how to avoid it. If you're ready, your comeback starts right at breakfast.
1. Whole eggs, nature's circulation catalyst. Let me tell you about Frank. Frank was a 66-year-old retired firefighter who came into my office looking both frustrated and embarrassed. He leaned in, avoided eye contact, and said quietly, "Doc, I wake up and nothing's happening down there. It's like my body's forgotten how." But you know what I saw? I didn't see a man broken by age. I saw a man underfueled, undernourished, misinformed. So I asked him, "Frank, what are you eating for breakfast?" His answer? "Just coffee, maybe toast." And there it was, the clue. You see, for many men over 60, breakfast has turned into either a rushed cup of caffeine or a slice of empty carbs. And that's a problem, because the first hour after waking is the most important window for setting up your circulation, hormones, and muscle activation for the entire day. That's why I told Frank what I'll tell you now. Bring back whole eggs, not just the whites, the entire egg, yolk and all. For years, we were told to fear the yolk because of cholesterol. That advice, old science. The truth is, whole eggs are nature's most complete fuel for male vitality. They're rich in vitamin D, which supports testosterone production, choline, a nutrient essential for nerve signaling and brain clarity, vitamin B12 for red blood cell function and energy, and most importantly, leucine, an amino acid that stimulates deep muscle repair, especially in the pelvic muscles, responsible for erections, balance, and bladder control. These aren't just nutrients, they're messages to your body saying, wake up, heal, rebuild. So I told Frank, 2 boiled eggs every morning. No butter, no oil, just real, honest food. Nothing fancy, just functional. 3 weeks later, he came back, this time with a smile and tears in his eyes. "Doc, I woke up hard, first time in years. I honestly thought that part of me was gone." That moment, that's what I do, because it proves something most men forget. Your body is still capable. It hasn't given up. It's just been waiting for the right fuel. So start simple. 2 whole eggs first thing in the morning. It doesn't get easier than that. No prescriptions, no side effects, just a quiet act of nourishment that reminds your body who it still is. And trust me, this is only the beginning, because the next food I'll share with you doesn't just support blood flow, it actually cleans the very pipes that bring the blood where you need it most. Let's talk about that next.
2. Oats with chia seeds, the artery cleanser. Now, if whole eggs are your morning ignition switch, oats with chia seeds are your cleanup crew. Gentlemen, this next part isn't about muscle, it's about maintenance. Blood vessels age just like the rest of us, and if you're not eating to support them, they stiffen, clog, and narrow, like old garden hoses left in the sun. Let me tell you about Henry. Henry was 71, retired postal worker. Sharp guy, but the spark was gone. He came in dragging his feet, literally. Told me, "Doc, I feel like I'm walking through mud. My legs are heavy, my energy's shot, and honestly, the bedroom's become awkward." He wasn't complaining, he was grieving the slow fade of feeling like a man. So we talked breakfast. His? Whatever's fast, usually cereal, sometimes a muffin. Sound familiar? I nodded and said, "Henry, what you eat first thing in the morning either opens your arteries or clogs them. There is no neutral food at our age." And then I gave him a new assignment. A warm bowl of oats, 1 tablespoon of chia seeds, a sprinkle of cinnamon, and a few blueberries. Every morning. Why? Let's break it down. Oats are rich in beta-glucan, a soluble fiber that acts like an internal sponge, absorbing cholesterol and gently sweeping the inside of your arteries. Over time, that means smoother, wider blood vessels, especially where it matters most. Chia seeds may be tiny, but they're packed with omega-3 fatty acids, magnesium and potassium, nutrients that relax the blood vessels, lower inflammation, and support healthy blood pressure from the inside out. And don't underestimate that sprinkle of cinnamon. It boosts insulin sensitivity and reduces artery-crusting sugar spikes. The blueberries? Full of antioxidants to keep things flowing like they should. 2 weeks later, Henry called me. The first words out of his mouth were, "Doc, I feel lighter, not just in my legs, all over, even, down there." That's what good circulation feels like. Not dramatic, just more alive. The heaviness fades, the numbness lifts, and slowly a part of you thought was gone starts to come back online. This isn't some trendy superfood hack. It's slow, quiet repair, starting from your arteries out. And for men over 60, circulation is everything. Without it, your energy, your confidence, your intimacy, they all fade together. But with it, you start to feel like yourself again. So tomorrow morning, skip the cereal. Trade the muffin for something that actually gives back. Pour a warm bowl of oats, add your chia, and give your arteries a reason to thank you. Up next, a food you've known your whole life, sweet, juicy, summer in a bite. And it just might be the closest thing to natural Viagra I've ever seen. No side effects, no prescriptions, just real results. Let's talk watermelon.
3. Watermelon, the natural Viagra. Let's talk about a fruit you've probably been enjoying since childhood. Watermelon. But this time, we're not eating it for nostalgia. We're eating it because it works. Now, before you roll your eyes, let me tell you what I told Bill. Bill was 69, tall guy with a good sense of humor, until we got to the topic of intimacy. He chuckled nervously and said, "Doc, I need something serious, not fruit salad." And I said, "Bill, that's exactly the problem. Most of us underestimate the power of simple foods because we think big problems need complicated answers. But your body doesn't need gimmicks. It needs what it recognizes." You see, watermelon is loaded with a natural compound called L-citrulline, which your body turns into L-arginine, which then increases nitric oxide, a gas that tells your blood vessels to relax and open wide. That's the same pathway that prescription ED medications target. The difference? Watermelon does it without the side effects. No headaches, no weird pressure in your chest, no awkward moments if you're on blood pressure meds. Just clean, natural blood flow where you need it most. Now, here's the part nobody tells you. The white part. Yes, the part near the rind that most people throw away is where the L-citrulline is most concentrated. That's the real gold. Blend it into a smoothie or eat it fresh, even if it's not sweet. It works from the inside out. Bill? He added a few slices of watermelon to his morning for 2 weeks. Then he walked into my clinic grinning like a teenager. "Doc, I don't know if it's the watermelon or just the fact that I'm finally eating breakfast again, but something's definitely working." And I told him what I'll tell you. Your body remembers. It may take time, it may be subtle, but the right nourishment unlocks systems that have been dormant, not dead. Watermelon isn't a miracle. But when eaten regularly, especially first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, it can gently nudge your body back into a more responsive, more youthful state. Think of it not as a fruit, but as a signal to your blood vessels, to your hormones, to your confidence that you're not done yet. And speaking of signals, there's one more food I want to tell you about. It's warm, it's grounding, and it may be the most stabilizing breakfast for older men I ever recommended. Let's talk about it.
4. Steamed sweet potato with Celtic salt, the morning stabilizer. Let's shift gears, because this next one isn't about getting you going. It's about keeping you going. Stability, stamina, the kind of energy that doesn't spike and crash, but holds you steady through the day. That's the power of steamed sweet potato with Celtic sea salt. This story starts with Thomas, 70 years old, former truck driver. He walked into my office with a limp and a look of defeat. He said, "Doc, every step feels like I'm dragging bricks. My groin aches. My legs are tired before I even make coffee." I asked him about his mornings. His answer? Toast, maybe nothing. Sound familiar? Well, I told him was simple. Your muscles are starving. Your nerves are dry. Your cells are looking for fuel, and you're giving them breadcrumbs. So here's what I gave him. Half a steamed sweet potato, warm and soft, topped with a pinch of Celtic sea salt, and a glass of warm water. Within 3 days, he called me. "Doc, I got out of bed this morning without grabbing the dresser. I didn't expect a miracle, but something feels better, lighter." That's not magic. That's minerals. That's clean, complex carbohydrates. That's your body finally getting what it needs. Sweet potatoes are rich in fiber, steady, slow-burning energy, potassium for heart rhythm and muscle function, and vitamin A, crucial for tissue repair and immune health. But the real hero here is Celtic sea salt. Not table salt, not processed salt. Celtic salt contains over 80 trace minerals, including magnesium, calcium, and zinc. These help regulate nerve impulses, hydration, and blood pressure at the cellular level, especially in men whose electrolyte balance quietly declines with age. You see, many older men mistake their fatigue, groin aches, or balance issues for aging alone. But what I found is it's often depletion. Not dysfunction, just deficiency. And this simple combo, sweet potato plus Celtic salt, tells your system you're safe, you're nourished, you can move. So if you've been feeling off balance, heavy in the legs, or just plain tired by 10 a.m., this might be the breakfast shift your body's been begging for. Try it, feel the difference, and let that first bite become your foundation.
5 What you need to do starting today. The comeback starts at breakfast. If you've come this far, then you're not like most men your age. While others may have accepted their decline, you're still here, still looking for answers, still fighting, still curious, and that deserves respect. But now the real work begins. You've just learned about 4 foods that can bring you back to life. Not supplements, not quick fixes. Real, whole foods that help you reclaim your strength and vitality. Here they are. Whole eggs to rebuild your pelvic muscles and boost your testosterone. Oats and chia seeds to cleanse your arteries and restore blood flow. Watermelon to relax your blood vessels and revive your manhood. Sweet potato with Celtic salt to stabilize your energy and support your muscles. But here's the truth most men don't want to hear. Information alone won't change anything. The change starts with action. I've had countless men sit in my office wide-eyed and hopeful, only to walk out and do nothing. They thought knowing was enough, but they came back frustrated, still tired, still waiting for a miracle. Let me be blunt. The miracle is you. Change happens the moment you take action. Not next week, not when it's more convenient. It starts tomorrow morning. Choose one of the 4 breakfasts. That's it. Make it simple. 2 boiled eggs with a glass of water. A warm bowl of oats with chia and cinnamon. A few slices of watermelon on an empty stomach. Half a steamed sweet potato with Celtic salt. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need all 4 on day 1. You just need to start. Because that first hour after you wake up, it sets the tone for your day. It's when your body is most responsive. If you get that first bite right, your body will start to remember what it feels like to be strong. In a few days, you might notice less pressure in your groin, more warmth in your legs, less fatigue, more clarity, and most importantly, hope. Because hope is what really changes us, not pills, not magic. Hope born from results you can feel. Tomorrow morning, eat like your comeback depends on it, because it does. 6 Final message. The comeback starts now. Aging doesn't take your strength overnight. It waits for you to give it up. Quietly, gradually, one small choice at a time. But you're not done. You're not broken. And it's never too late. I've seen men who thought their time was over find energy they hadn't felt in years. I've seen marriages rediscover closeness because one man decided to nourish himself differently. I've seen legs that were heavy become strong again, minds that were foggy become sharp, and hearts that had flatlined begin to beat with purpose. None of it started with a pill. None of it started in a doctor's office. It started with one choice, a real breakfast. Tomorrow morning, make that choice for you, because what you do in that first hour becomes the rest of your day, and it's time to turn that cycle around. Start with the first bite. Your comeback begins there.